Accelerated depreciation. You'll never hear these words at ICBC. The adjusters fool themselves into believing it's okay because they have no choice. They are under pressure to close files. Closing files is the excuse. Cheating people, often the result. In the late 70s, our provincial government put a declaration on the vehicle transfer papers. Previous damage in excess of $2,000 must be disclosed, as well as other defects, like previous usage, province of origin, etc. The important thing is these defects lower the value of your vehicle. All vehicles depreciate, but when a previous repair causes an increased loss in value, it's called accelerated depreciation. The party who is at fault cannot claim for this. Their compensation is limited to the coverage provided by their insurance policy. ICBC has no contract with an innocent party, even though they may insure them as well. Victims wrongly assume that because ICBC is overseeing the repairs to their car and dealing with the injury claims, property damage, etc., that they are acting in their best interest. Actually, ICBC is pretending to represent both parties equally, when in reality, they only represent one. This is where the victim is being victimized a second time, and where I believe ICBC commits fraud. The fraud guidelines in Canadian criminal law state, dishonesty can also include non-disclosure, where a reasonable person would consider it dishonest. It is not even necessary to have intent to defraud. They need only, and I quote, have knowledge that their conduct could result in deprivation. Does this apply? ICBC adjusters get innocent parties to sign away their right to sue, knowing that in the future, they will likely lose money on their vehicle as a direct result of the repairs. That sure sounds like fraud to me. My good friends Bruce and Kim are a perfect example of how ICBC takes advantage of the innocent. They own Helu Sushi in West Maple Ridge. You may remember about 5 years ago when a guy intentionally drove a truck through this restaurant, killing 2 people and leaving a child with permanent brain damage. When it happened, Kim and my wife were having coffee a block away, but Bruce was behind the counter. These hardworking people put in 7 days a week and only allow themselves one luxury. They lease a BMW X5 for their business. When this $80,000 vehicle was 1 week old, it was rear-ended to the tune of about $8,000. When it was repaired, they asked me to look at it because the gap at the hatch lid wasn't right. A few weeks later, I was driving on the highway right by Helu Sushi, and it hit me. ICBC will call them in to sign off. I pulled right into the parking lot and went inside. I said to Kim, "Please tell me you didn't sign anything for ICBC." She said, "They phoned and asked me if the car is okay, can I sign a paper?" So I did. It was at that moment that I decided to start this website. This was the proverbial last straw. An adjuster once told me that when ICBC goes to court on accelerated depreciation claims, they have a 25% chance of winning. I believe if the claimant does his homework, ICBC will have no chance of winning. In court, they will say, "How do you know the vehicle has lost value? You haven't sold it." That is ridiculous. The fact that disclosure is required when you do sell is proof itself of a reduced value. Disclosure prevents a buyer from being defrauded by paying too much for a vehicle with a defect. In summation, whether you own or lease, if you have a nice vehicle, a declaration will cause you to lose money. If you are the innocent party, you need to seek compensation through the courts, and you cannot do that if you sign off on the claim. The innocent party in an accident must always look out for his own interests. This website is trying to help you do just that.